Shalom. This is the brother Gamal Yala out of GMS ATL, giving all praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, also giving double honors to the apostles, the elders that rule well, and also shalom to all the Akim that are pushing out this truth and sincerity. This is a video on an article that I found about a cop who got off. Basically, he was not indicted for pretty much pedophilia. Alright, and it says Ohio Supreme Court. This is off of Blacklisted News, which was published today, August 1st. And it says Ohio Supreme Court strikes down law banning cops from having sex with minors. So basically they're saying that it's legal in Ohio for a cop to have sex with a minor. Here it is. An Ohio cop narrowly avoided being sent back to prison for having sex with a 14-year-old boy after the state Supreme Court ruled in his favor last week, stating that a law barring cops from having sex with minors was unconstitutional. Alright, in the 4-3 decision, the Ohio Supreme Court determined the law violated the state's Equal Protection Clause of both the U.S. Constitution and the Ohio Constitution because it imposed a higher standard on cops than it did for the general public. Alright. The Ohio sexual battery law includes provisions that make it illegal for people with established authoritarian relationships to have sex with minors, including teachers, coaches, administrators, scout leader, clerics, and police officers. So basically this is the law that says these people with these positions, authoritarian positions, cannot have sex with minors. Now it says, however, the court determined that police officers should not be included with the others because there is no occupation-based relationship between the officer and the victim. So basically, pretty much what they're saying is it's okay. Alright. In other words, the Supreme Court does not find it possible that a police officer would use his badge to coerce sex out of a minor, which yes he would, right? No, that's never happened before. In this case, Matthew Mole was a 35-year-old Waite Hill police officer when he met the 14-year-old boy online in 2011 who told him he was 18. See? Even when Mole snuck into the boy's house around 3 a.m. That's off, man. What the fuck? Even when Mole snuck into the boy's house around 3 a.m. on December 11th, 2011, and discovered the boy was shorter and lighter than he described, not to mention he wore braces and had yet to begin shaving, he still believed the boy to be 18. Yeah, right. The two undressed and were performing oral sex on each other. And this is way off, man. And the boy's mother walked in on them. Alright, it was then that Mole learned the boy was only 14. Alright, there's a naked man in my house with my son, the boy's mother said in the 347 call to police. Police then arrived and arrested Mole, who was charged with unlawful sex contact with a minor and sexual battery. Alright, let me see. Mole also resigned. In 2012, the boy testified he had lied to Mole about his age and that the sex was consensual, so a jury returned a hung verdict on the former charge because they could not prove beyond reasonable doubt that the cop knew the boy was younger than 16, which is legal age of consent in Ohio. So as you see, man, this place is just filthy, man. The fact that, you know, this guy can get away pretty much with pedophilia. That's lucky, you know. Um, so the first time he went to court, they found him guilty. All right, but I guess they did another trial. All right, let me see. Lucky. All right. Yeah, Kennedy also argued that the court's majority decision was wrong by citing Ohio law that in order for a statute to be facially unconstitutional, it must be unconstitutional in all applications. So just because Moe did not have an occupational relationship with the 14-year-old boy does not mean other officers will not have established authoritarian relationships with minors. So basically, you know, this guy is not guilty on the charges of being caught with this little boy. But that's Esau's nature, man. Esau, you know, you could clearly tell the age difference of a 14-year-old boy and an 18-year-old boy, right? But as you see, man, look at this guy's face. He's a real creep, right? You know, but I'm just bringing this article out to say that Esau's laws, man, they gotta go. That's why we really gotta get out of this place, man, because, you know, Esau is getting away with anything, man. Let this have been a nigger, right? Let this have been a Jake, something like this that happened to a Jake, right? A precept. This is let's see, Isaiah 5:20. Woe to them that call evil good and good evil, right? Because, you know, they're basically saying, you know, this court system that we're stuck living with in America, it's all BS, man. It's really all BS. This whole court system, right? Because you got people getting away with murder, you got people getting away with all kinds of shit, and then on the flip side, you got a lot of Jakes that's, you know, sitting in there for years for shit that they didn't do, right? So this whole court system is really just a joke, man. This whole legal system is a joke. So woe to them, Isaiah 5:20. Woe to them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Right. So the key word that applies to this, what I'm bringing out, is, you know, they call evil good and good evil. So basically, they're saying that he doesn't deserve, because the penalty according to the scriptures for doing something like this is to be put to death, right? But basically, they're saying this guy is a cop, so it's okay. You know, that's basically what they're saying. And they're saying that because cops don't have like a supervisor role, right? Because they don't work directly with children, then you know he didn't use his they're basically saying he didn't use his authority to get with the little boy, right? But this is just Esau, man. This is the madness that you know we got to deal with in this kingdom. Just to witness shit like this and witness Esau get off the hook for shit like this, right? This is Psalms 28. Psalms 28 and 5. It's like, because they regard not the works of the Lord, nor the oppression, nor the operation of his hands. Because they're not, you know, these wicked elites that, or you know, these people that are setting up these laws, and these people that are these people in the court systems, right? They regard not the works of the Lord. They regard not the laws of the Lord. They're not regarding that. They're not regarding how things should be. They're not, you know, they're not following the law that a homosexuals are supposed to be put to death, right? They're not regarding the works of the Lord, nor the operations of his hands, right? Because the Most High set up things to be a certain way. He set up order, right? Right? So, you know, if you're going against that, then there's judgment for that, right? But this society is completely backward. So you're able to get away with anything in the society, especially if you're a so-called white man. He shall destroy them and not build them up. So that's going to be the judgment, right? And ultimately, he's going to destroy America because shit like this, right? I'm going to go to Psalm 29 and 2. Wait. I think I wrote down the wrong scripture. Who's that? It's like, let me see. Oh, my bad. Alright, we're going to go to Proverbs 29 and 2. Alright, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So, as you see, you know, we're mourning right now because there's no righteousness in this earth, man. This earth is just totally madness and just defiled wickedness, right? It's like, but basically, you know, we're mourning. That's why we're mourning, because we're witnessing just this place going on and getting worse and worse and worse, right? And we have to live in this, and we have to, you know, we're subject to this so-called white man's system and his laws and the way he set things up, right? So that's why we're mourning. But as you see, in the beginning part, it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. So on the flip side, you know, when the elect inherits the kingdom, all right, everyone's going to rejoice, because everything is going to be in, you know, under YAHAWASHI. When the elect inherits the kingdom under YAHAWASHI, all right, people are going to rejoice, because everything is going to be, except for the other nations, right? But people are going to you know, have everything's going to be in order, right? There's not going to be no homosexuals, and there's not going to be none of that shit, right? All that shit is done away with, right? But that's pretty much it on that. I just wanted to bring that article out, something that stood out. But yeah, death to Esau, death to this whole system, and death to these damn homosexuals. Shalom.